What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Mongoli Show. Let's jump over here. See if we can't get a Mr. 7 on the air. Actually, let's jump there. We should have that closed. There we go. All right. There. Knock. Hello. Something went wrong. Try again. How's it going, sir? Jesus. It's going pretty well. How are you? I am restreaming. No worries. Let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to get back to that window so that I can do that. All right, let's go chat over here. Hello, Bridget. Hello, D. How you guys doing?
All right, there we go on that. And then you guys want to see something a little better than that, don't you? Let's do this. And now I'm going to change some other stuff.
There we go. Okay, how are you doing this evening, Run?
I'm doing pretty good.
Excellent.
All things considered, I'm doing okay. I got a lot of work done today. I was happy about that.
Nice.
Always nice to get the work in. She's just going to throw chat up there on that side. I'm trying to square this window, make it look good.
I mean, I'm only doing that for temporarily.
And then I'll have to probably resize my window again. I won't, because this chat's shared, so they can read the chat no matter where they're at.
So I can also just get rid of the chat if that makes your life easier. This is what it's going to actually look like.
The only ones who might need that, no, because it's going to be reshared in YouTube as well. So I guess it doesn't matter.
Cool.
Well, I was going to dig around and play some video games, but I guess we might as well start getting ready.
I meant to be here like 2 hours ago and playing like some more God Forge before it actually when we went live, and just this has been the busiest effing week. Like, there's just so much going on. I finished the movie probably like an hour ago at this point.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did that with the first movie. I finished it like 10 minutes before we aired. And tonight, I finished it last night. I sat and watched it so I didn't have to race through it today because I had a busy day today.
Yeah. My brother's in town, so we started watching it at like noon, and then we went to like a pool and went swimming, went and visit my sister, got some pizza, and then by the time we got back, I'm like, wow, it is getting late. Like, I need to actually start rushing to get this done with now.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's a good feeling.
So I am having a Dan moment with this one. I don't have a ton to say about BVH or BHC 2, Beverly Hills Cop 2. I just don't. I don't know. I want to talk about the technical shots and the technical when they blow stuff up, stunts and things like the action sequences and stuff. I'd like to talk about the technical differences between 1 and 2. We could probably talk about the differences between the audio and sound.
It's the same audio. It's the exact same audio from both movies.
And then of course there's the overall plot and everything, which we'll probably have some words about. But I mean, I don't have a lot. I don't have like any specific points that I'm like really excited about, good or bad. So this is gonna be a tough one. It might be a short one, and I'm okay with us getting through these a little short. I think if we reach that point where we're like, well, do you guys have anything else? We should just be grading it. Like, if you're trying to think of something to say, it's done.
Well, the problem with that is there are some times where I'm out of something to say, but maybe Will has something. So that's why I'm just like checking in. Like, I'm not necessarily trying to pad for timing so much as like, okay, no, I'm out. Did you have anything? If all
3 of us are like, then we need to be grading it, because it's just not, If we're not chomping at the bit to talk about it, I think we should just get to it. And I'm definitely not chomping at the bit on any part of this one.
I think that's pretty fair, to be honest. Not that we'll get into it.
They're using all the HUD effects on me.
They used one on me, but because it's restreamed, they couldn't see it. So like it happened to me, but nobody will ever know. I am very far behind. I'm actually just making the thumbnail for this now, which is fine. So we're not going to be.
Yeah, it's fine. This is why we get in here early so we can get everything ready and squared away. I had a bunch of people, not a bunch. I had 2 people say they would like to have the ability to at least read along with the story when we play Sunderfolk. And so I think next time I was going to try and read it in character. Like I'm playing a mage blackbird or something. I don't know what kind of animal it is, but I would try and squawk out any lines that my character has. And,
well, you're a mage, like you're an owl or whatever. Like you should be smart, right? Like you should have some wisdom to your character.
But it's also an animal of some sort. So like if Hotep were to talk, he's a giant polar bear. You know, he's got to sound kind of grisly, which isn't a far cry from himself anyway.
I was going to say.
No, Bridget, Will should be here today. I haven't heard anything about him being not here. If anything, Dan's going to drop stream because thunder's going to strike his house or lightning's going to strike his house.
We are under an extreme weather warning at the moment, tornado, whatever. But like we were outside looking, it's like the weather is moving quickly, so maybe something else is coming in. But right now it's just kind of clouds. We got like, I don't know, 5 minutes of rain, a couple of good thunderclaps, but nothing like terrifying.
Jesus. Yeah, they just got me with a thunderclap. Yeah, Wonderful D, the Doki Doki thing was 99% read along and 1% actually play the game. Whereas Sunderfolk is kind of the reverse. There's maybe 2% of stuff that you need to read along and the rest is playing the game. Plus we have our own questions and answers and stuff. And I had a bunch of people that messaged me and they were like, oh, I wanted to answer, but I wasn't live and I didn't want to leave a comment. I'm like, you should definitely go back and leave the comment. Answer the question in the comments section. Go do it.
Well, not only that, but this is a good time as any to promote. There is a channel in the Discord now. So if you not only want to answer one of the questions, but actually ask us a question, go over there, drop it. Drop a question into that section of the Discord. I've muted it, so I won't see it ahead of time. I'm hoping the other streamers do as well, so that only Hillary and Bridget are looking at it. And then that way they can come talk to us and be like, hey, here's a question the community came up with that I won't know of ahead of time. Or hopefully Brian Faust and Hotep don't know of ahead of time. So if you want to, head over there, leave us whatever question you want. And yeah, we'll get that. I'll get that happening as of this Sunday.
Sunday questions. I will mute that as well.
Nice.
And that way I won't know the questions. You'll have to remind me that it exists because it like just deleted it from my view.
Well, you shouldn't ever have to use it, right? Bridget and Hillary being the ones finding the questions out of it.
Oh, that's true.
So
that's true.
you don't need to ever see it ever again. As long as the audience remembers it's there. You should remember to promote it. Sorry.
I forgot I had a Pickle Rick redemption. Jesus.
I thought you were like pissed off at me for saying like I'm just talking like, oh my God. I'm like, okay, sorry, calm down. I'll let you talk.
No, it's a Pickle Rick just got me. No, I mean, in the future, if we get through Sunderfolk and try a different style game that's chill, that we can tabletop it or whatever. Honestly, I've been looking at Tabletop Simulator and wondering where that's going to go because I've been hearing things about that. But anyway, if we move on to something else, we can put other people into play and I can narrate or whatever.
I have Tabletop Simulator. I use it for my Marvel game, or I used to at least. It worked really well for a long time, and then all of a sudden the Marvel app just crapped out for me. Everybody else seems to be able to use it just fine. I have tried every troubleshooting thing I can find. I cannot get it to work properly.
And what Marvel game are you playing on it?
Marvel Crisis Protocol. It's the little miniatures one that I talk about all the time.
Yeah.
There's an app on it on there, which is really nice because you can use any character in the game. You don't need to own them. So it can save you a ton of money if you're just like, oh, I just want to see if Kingpin's any good and go from there. Or play with people, on the other side of the world. But cool. Mine just hates me, so I just had to stop using it. It was just frustrating. To the best of my knowledge, Will should be coming soon, right?
I hate when I jump into Discord and I see in, say, the Headliners channel or something, there's like 57 missed messages. And I'm like, well, clearly there was a conversation going on that I wasn't a part of. I don't want to go read through the whole thing. I'm just going to read the last 3 lines and see if it pertains to me and then pretend nothing else happened. And that's been happening to me a lot because I can't stay on top of my messaging.
I mean, I guess if it works.
If things get stale, we can always answer questions to Buckshot Roulette. I'm genuinely having fun playing Sunderfolk. I like the simple strategy of Sunderfolk, and I know it's going to get a lot more challenging where we're actually going to have to pay attention to it. But I also enjoy just answering some of those questions, and I think as we get a little more comfortable, we can kind of lean into them. I was kind of thinking like, you take your turn and then you answer the question, and that would help us to not step on each other quite so much.
Yeah.
Like, or something, because I mean, we were walking all over each other, me especially. I was walking all over everybody because I'd be like trying to talk about the game while someone's answering a question, and it wasn't very good. So I think we all need to take a turn, and then we'll ask a question and go a round of answering the questions, and then we can all take a turn again and or whatnot. I don't know. It's something we'll have to play with it a little bit. I'm having fun with it though.
For sure. Good day, Will.
Good day, gentlemen. How are
Will,
you?
that hair's getting huge, buddy. Getting huge. I love it. I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's getting up there for sure. Sideshow Bob hair here pretty quick.
That was impressive. I looked away for it was all sticking out the sides, and I looked away for a second. All of a sudden, it's all like straight back behind you.
Yeah, depends how.
Can you give us? Can you take the headphones off and just give us like a nice clean shake?
Oh yeah, you bet.
Classy.
Goodness, yeah.
Love it. All right.
Welcome everybody in Twitch land. Appreciate y'all being here.
It needs.
Sorry, my redemptions are on.
Nice. Now we both have beautiful hair.
You have beautiful hair. I have this.
It's great. It's great. Oh, I guess I have to like get ready here, hey?
He's got Maui hair from Moana.
I like it.
Oh
yeah, it is
fair,
right.
fair. That's a good comparison, I suppose.
So, Will, are you absolutely excited for this movie? Like, are you bursting and just have so much to say about it?
Hey, we wanted to tighten these videos up, right? So
yeah, we're gonna tighten it up for sure. It's not gonna run long.
Yeah. It is what it is. R.I.P. Hulk Hogan, eh?
Yeah. Sad day. Was it yesterday? Yesterday was Wednesday, right? Yeah. Yesterday we were listening to a nonstop loop of Ozzy Osbourne in the store all day.
Yeah.
And then another one bites the dust. That's 3 in 3 days, man.
3? Who's the third?
Theo from the Cosby Show, and then Ozzy. And I heard Chuck Mangione died. I don't know if it was just chat trolling me though.
I can't say I know about that one way or the other. All right. That's good. Yeah, I was at the Offspring show last night, and of course, with Ozzy passing recently, they did a couple of like startup tributes. Like they started up War Pigs, they started up another one, and then they called out Dave Brownsound, who's the guitarist for Sum 41, who lives in Toronto, and he joined them on stage and they did Crazy Train in full, and it was pretty cool. Mm-hmm. They did a good job. Also, it was fun seeing Dave Brownsound. So,
do you have a poster for our win? I thought you had a poster up earlier.
I have the background, like I can move the curtains. Like, you guys ready to go right this very second? Just get this.
I mean, I'm ready to go, but there's no rush.
Okay. As I said, I've been just incredibly busy this week, so I'm kind of just making the actual thumbnail, making the poster, all that stuff, just kind of getting things ready to go. It's been a lot of stuff this week, but it's also been a pretty exciting week. Just some stuff behind the scenes, nothing terribly exciting, nothing I need to get into, but it's been good.
I was going to show people a bunch of pictures from my vacation and stuff, but I forgot to upload it to my computer.
Nice. The trailer reactions have been doing very well for the movie channel, which is very nice to see.
Yeah, they've been doing good, man.
Yeah,
I like those.
the two
Yeah,
most
so it's what, Superman and your Predator one?
Superman I did a movie review of, but it was
Oh,
Mortal
right.
Kombat 2 and Predator
Yes.
Badlands were the trailer reactions, and both are doing quite well for the size of my channel. They're doing well.
Yeah, no, for sure.
All right.
Yeah, that new trailer didn't do for me for Predator Badlands.
Yeah, you were saying that because it. What was it about? I remember you did write it down, but I'm blanking on what you actually said.
Yeah, I just said it kind of seemed a little too buddy cop for me. I don't know. Just
Yeah,
a weird vibe from it. I don't know. It just seemed odd. I don't know.
I kind of felt like it's focusing on the Predator as the protagonist, right?
I
think
think
young
so.
Predator?
Yeah.
The impression
And
I'm
then
getting.
then there's a robot Yutani Wayland robot sidekick person,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I'm hoping it's good. I just don't have high hopes, I guess.
I am coming at it with fairly high hopes because I really liked the other two Predator movies Dan Trachtenberg did.
Right.
So I am coming in with I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt, if nothing else.
Mhm.
And we'll kind of see where it goes from there. If it doesn't live up, so be it. But I really liked Prey. I thought Kill of Killers had some pretty solid moments.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
Okay.
Well, obviously, I'll watch it because of you. So
Because I'm gonna half-ass force you.
yeah, but that's all good. That's all good.
All right. Diddy died too? Gosh, we can only hope. When is your stream with your brother happening? It's going to be happening Saturday morning. And we're also talking about potentially doing a Happy Gilmore 2 watch along, not as a stream, but as like a movie reaction, which I've never done before, but they tend to do fairly well on YouTube. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh,
So I'm hoping to record that tomorrow morning. And then Saturday morning, we'll do a top 5 Tarantinos.
Top 5 Tarantinos. That's a good list.
It's a harder list than I thought. Like the top 4 instantly to my brain. And then I was like, okay, which one gets that 5th spot? Like, which one do you also include? Like, gets a little tougher to actually narrow it down. You'd think with only having so many movies, it wouldn't be that bad, but with the exception of one, they're pretty much all bangers. So
yeah, he's got a pretty good roster overall.
yeah. Prey nerfed the Predator, a teenage native killed him. I mean, that's a pretty lame take because realistically, all of the Predators were taken out by humans, and the Predators in every single one of the movies is shown as being significantly stronger than humans. I mean, Arnold is super strong, but he was nothing compared to the Predator, and he still managed to do it. Also, it wasn't just her; it was a wide range of characters that took shots at him over the course of 2 hours or
honestly,
a day, or however you want to look at it.
I hard disagree with that, Huss. Prey did not nerf the Predator at all. When he fought that grizzly and raised it up over top of his head, that was an epic battle. Even though it was all CG and you couldn't see much.
I think one of the good things that we talked about was like the Predator was overconfident and took a lot of damage throughout the movie so that a single person could take them down at the end.
Yeah. Well, and again, like he took a ton of damage throughout the movie.
Exactly.
Like,
yeah.
If it was a one-on-one fight, she wouldn't have had a chance.
No, for sure.
But anyways, Will, you got an intro ready to go?
Oh yeah. Yep. Sure.
Sounds super confident. I love it. Let me zoom in just a little more. There we go. All right. Switch the background.
Thank you for the follow. Appreciate that. And remember, if you guys are watching on my stream, you can also go over to Dan's stream to see the exact same thing. We're just kind of trying to, generate some numbers here these days. So that's why we're both streaming the same thing. But !movies in chat. That'll get you the Monguli Show YouTube channel so that you can go and watch all our previous videos if you're new to this. Yeah. Can I take this wig off? I can take this wig off, right? There's no point in me having this anymore.
I kind of would prefer if you did.
I mean, it's your show. You do whatever you want.
It's our show.
I mean, I guess your stream. So.
Yeah.
You're all very wrong and lame. I mean, that's why everybody has opinions. Same as assholes. Here we go.
Just destroy the audience right before going live. There we go. You're all idiots. Hey, welcome to the show. How you doing?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I know.
It was intent. Intent was there, though. All right, here we go. Beverly Hills Cop 2, 1987. After Taggart and Rosewood's commanding officer is shot, Axel Foley gets the trio back in the saddle and is off to the races. To find the culprits behind their friend's shooting and solve the rest of the alphabet crimes, these buddy cops will have to use all the letters of the law and more.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to... Shit, I was going to say the Mongoolie Show. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Our Rating, the show where I get together with two of my friends. We take a movie franchise, break it down by movie, give it an overall score, throw it on the board, and see how it lands compared to the other movie franchises. Today, I'm joined, as always, by Brian and Will. Will, how are you doing today?
Doing all right. I got family in town, going on vacation soon, so life's up in the air. We're having a ball.
Nice. I also have family in town, and it's made this week very, very busy, but I'm happy to be here. How are you doing, Brian?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying to get healthy after that brush with death that I had poison oak all over my body. I'm still pretty ugly.
Yeah.
Pretty ugly. It's all over me, but it's drying up, and I'm taking my oatmeal baths, and I'm starting to feel a little better.
Wow, that looked rough, and that was only in one location. I don't want to see the rest.
That's not even the bad one. Hey, at least it's not on my penis. That's all I'm happy about.
That you're willing to admit.
Yeah. I didn't wipe with the damn leaves.
You wipe your never mind. Anyways, moving on.
Talking about other parts. I'm talking about other parts. Anyway, back to Beverly Hills Cop.
So today we're talking about Beverly Hills Cop 2. This was my personal first time viewing this one. I'd seen the first one before, I guess twice now, but I've never seen anyone else in this franchise. Brian, have you seen this movie before? Have you seen this franchise before?
I remember bits and pieces of this movie. I saw number one and remembered it. And then, of course, we rewatched it for this. And then I rewatched this one, and I'm like, I think I've seen pieces of it, but everything was new to me. There was a scene at the end where he shoots a rocket, and I was like, I remember that. That was about it.
Nice. And what about you, Will?
Yeah, it's much the same. I've seen the first one a bunch of times. Second and third one I've seen a handful of times if it's on TV, kind of growing up, but that's about it. Never sought it out, that's for sure.
Okay, fair enough. So we're all fairly coming to this one fairly clean. You were saying before we even got started, you don't have a whole lot to say about this, and I just stalled hard. Where I'm just like,
Well, let's start with this. This movie was Eddie Murphy's first writing credit. He was credited with writing Beverly Hills Cop 2, along with somebody else. I don't know their name because I'm bad at this. So what do you guys think about the writing in this? I don't know.
I'll take that one if you don't mind. I actually thought the comedy in this one was a little bit better. Like when Eddie Murphy goes off on one of his tangents and tries to like BS his way out of things. It just seemed to work a little bit better for me in this one than it did in the first one. Not that I disliked it in the first one, just that it was like, it seemed a little bit cleverer in this one. Like when he takes over the house from the people where he's just like telling them, no, this is all wrong. You were supposed to make a circle house. It was so stupid, but it was funny at the same time. It gets them to like clap for themselves for taking the day off. It was just, I don't know, that seemed to work for me a little bit more. The actual police story in this one felt a little bit more convoluted and almost for no reason. Like it didn't need to be as
in-depth, complicated as it was.
Yeah.
But what about you guys?
I got to take the opposite of Dan's. I thought the scenes where Eddie Murphy was talking his way into things, which is what he just did repeatedly in this, more so than in the first, they were cool and funny and all, but they were a little too stupid for me. Like the scene when he's saying, no, you got to build the houses round. Like no foreman's just going to tell all his guys to go home and not check that. Like it was just a bridge too far for me. A lot of those things, he was able to talk his way into stuff that was clearly not going to really happen. And for the comedic purposes, it was kind of funny, but I would have liked it. I would have liked it to land a little more realistically, I guess, or something. I mean, he was funny and all, but it just, I don't know. It was too much. And then they kept repeating the same bit over and over and over, which was just him talking his way into places he's not supposed to be. Like when he takes a bag of vitamins and says it's like explosive metals or something, and he's sweating. That was kind of funny. Really stupid though, but it got him past the girl at the door, and that was okay. The foreman one was ridiculous because I know no foreman's gonna just send all his guys home, without making a phone call. So that one bothered me.
I love how certain things get Brian so much. Like, I know this wouldn't work this way, but other things he's okay with. It's so funny to me.
I can let some things go that you wouldn't believe, but then other things I get hung up on. And I got hung up on some of the things when he was talking his way through, and I was like, that's just too unbelievable.
For sure. I agree with both of you to an extent. I feel like this one, the crime story was way overcomplicated and didn't really make any sense. I agree with Dan on that one. And then I also agree with Brian that it just felt like they forced these Eddie Murphyisms in where he's somehow ingeniously making up a character of how he's getting into these situations, like the foreman and the receptionist and this and that. It just felt like they went way overboard with it, and which took away the funny for me. And I felt this movie overall felt forced and not naturally funny, whereas the first one I felt it was way more natural. And I don't know, maybe that was because the first one was more improvised. I'm not sure.
No, I 100% agree with you on that. I feel that this one was way more forced. I think that's a good way to phrase it. It didn't feel naturally funny like the first one. It felt like they were trying to put more into this. And because they were trying to put more into it, it felt kind of forced. Everything in this was the same movie, but they turned the volume up on it and added more of it. They had more exciting car chase scenes with the trucks ramming cars. They had shootouts that were more extravagant with bigger explosions. And they had lots more scenes where Eddie Murphy is wisecracking and talking his way into situations. It was more, but it did feel a little forced. And so on the technical side, some of those other scenes that they did the same as the first one, but more of, I don't think they pulled it off as well as the first one.
Yeah, I won't get into that just yet. But as far as the comedy goes, I feel like the first movie was also incredibly ridiculous, the situations he was getting himself into with the fast-talking nonsense. So the fact that they took it to 11 almost worked better for me because it was already a farce, but it was like, it was so silly and stupid, but they weren't taking it far enough for it to be silly and stupid. It was like, this is a real situation that you're going to be stupid in, versus this one was like, this is a really stupid situation, and we're going to make him really stupid. So it's like, okay, they know that they're making comedy, whereas the first one, they felt like they were trying to make a real serious movie with this guy who just talked quickly, if that makes sense. Yeah. So like, I like this one better from no, we're making a comedy, so we're going to make it funny.
Maybe it's just a balance thing for me, because the first one kind of balanced because it showed in some aspects, like in the strip club, that he is a really good cop. He could pinpoint that it was going to get, robbed, and he took action and did it really well. Where in this one, they didn't really have that as much. I felt it was more
they kept doing little gimmicks like the alarm system with the foil wrapper and breaking and entering, and it was always I used to fracture the law or whatever. And it was like, okay, so he's got all these like offbeat ways of solving problems that's not a real cop thing, but he didn't have any real good cop skills this time around. Even when he's running around shooting and stuff, he wasn't even like an expert marksman or anything. Like, they didn't really highlight his cop skills. It was more like his juvenile skills that they highlighted in this one.
Right.
Well, he did have the scene where he got the blueprints off the matchbook. I don't know how well that actually works, but I mean, I don't think that's super far off. The door magnetic key thing, it's more of a breaking into a place than a cop thing, but it shows he got some sort of skill. But he was pretty much an expert marksman. Like in the gun range, he shoots all three of those things in one hit, which admittedly didn't seem like it was all that hard. He's using an actual bullet. And then when the guy drives through the wall, he turns around and like headshots him instantly.
Yeah, like, there was that. Yeah,
they do show him being pretty good with a gun, I would think.
I guess there were just so many scenes where I watched that, like when they come out of the nightclub and they have that shootout from the car that tries to run him over in the nightclub. Everybody's just throwing their gun around, going bang, bang, bang. Like all three of them were just like, I was like, what? What are they doing? They look ridiculous too. This like 5 foot wide foot stances. They're trying to fire these, dirty, hairy pistols and stuff. It was a little weird.
Go ahead.
On that scene, I did like how every time like Eddie Murphy shot, he'd like do this massive kickback, but then they've got the double shotguns. They're just bam, bam. I'm like,
There were a lot of those little
Judge Ryan
technical
was real and
issues
strong.
with those. I recognized a lot of them. You know, in the first one, we had like the squibs that would go off all in a line, and they were in weird placement when gunshots would ricochet off the buildings and stuff. And in this one, we had just like everything getting shot to pieces, and no one could even wing Axel Foley. Like, it was a little bit weird, but instead of these like strips of squibs exploding, they just had everything explode when they were going into a gunfight.
Lots of explosions, lots of fun in that way. Speaking of which, they brought in director Tony Scott for this movie, known for just prior to this, Top Gun. Has done lots of action movies along the way. So they brought Tony in. I think the original director was supposed to come back, but they replaced him because they wanted a little more action. Did you feel that it was a successful?
It was unnecessary action.
Okay.
It was excessive. Okay. The opening sequence when they're robbing the bank, they've got the bank robbed and it's time to leave. And then they just start shooting everything. She shoots the chandelier down, which is ridiculous in its own right, just to exit. And the whole reason they did that was just so that later they could find gun casings. That was it. It was the whole purpose of them shooting, the plot-wise anyway, was that they could find this gun casing that would lead them to the next clue. And I was just like, couldn't they have just like shot once or twice? Like, why did we have to have 1,000 rounds blown out? I mean, it was for the, theatrical hook in the beginning of the movie. It's an exciting scene to get you into the film, but it was just so over the top and unnecessary for this supposedly perfectly planned heist.
Mm-hmm. Now, I do want to question that. I think I'm right on this one, but I just want to question. The only place they robbed that they were insured on was the racetrack, right? So that wasn't his jewelry store that he was hitting, and that's why they shot everything is for more insurance money.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I was wondering when we were watching that scene, I was watching it with my brother, and I was just kind of like, I wonder if they're taking one specific item but destroying everything so it looks more like a random like cash grab. As opposed to like, oh, they're going for that one specific piece. But that didn't really come out that way. Nor is it like, oh, it's an insurance thing. So like, yeah, you're right. It's kind of just for absolutely no reason other than just give them additional
nor do they
bullets.
have any reason to leave an alphabet clue system for their crimes. Like, why have them connected at all to even to make the
alphabet? You see,
in their third heist, they were supposed to rob the racetrack and blame it on somebody, and they were supposed to be able to crack the third code, which leads them to the scapegoat.
Wrong people. Yeah,
right. Yeah. But the fact that this guy from Detroit just goes gun casing and spoils the whole thing shows it was really terribly planned. I just thought it was way too complex of a scene or a series of scenes for what they needed to accomplish in this show. I mean, later we're connecting red dirt off of running shoes and like pulling the whole case together. And that just seemed weird to me too. Like also those running shoes had a pile of dirt on them. Like they set the shoes on the ground for that scene. And then somebody came in with a shovel and dumped dirt over it. And I was like, wasn't like a little red dust fell off the side there.
No, it had to be obvious so that he could crack the case,
So for the record, you are saying that Axel Foley's police work is what cracked this case wide open and foiled it.
Right?
Okay, sure. I'm just saying. Well,
I'm not actually advocating for the movie. I just thought that was funny.
I know.
What? You find a gun casing at the scene. You trace the gun casing. That's pretty standard right there. Why the other cops weren't trying to do that, I don't know. It was kind of weird.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of assumptions I made during this movie about where it was going to go based off what we were seeing. And the police chief being such an a-hole and trying to fire everybody and get rid of the whole department, I assumed he was going to be in bed with the criminals by the end of it. Like I assumed he was cleaning out all the good cops and just replacing them with bad cops. And it's like, no, you're just an abusive authority asshole. It's like, oh.
Now,
all right.
did you guys like how Billy and what's the other cop's name? Taggart. Billy and Taggart were much better friends with Axel Foley. In fact, so was the police chief, whatever, the head guy who got shot in the beginning.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. They were all good friends with Axel Foley, almost too good of friends. The fishing trip that they had to cancel just didn't feel real. It just didn't feel right that they were going to go on a fishing trip and he had to cancel it. I was like, it was 2 years ago, guy. Like, was it 3 years ago or something? I'm like, how are you? I don't know. The fishing trip seemed weird. And then the cops, they were much better friends in this, which I liked. I liked that part. I like that they just kind of got along, and we started off being a little bit more risky in this one rather than having to, like, con them into it.
Yeah. Well, the fact that Billy, Bogomil, and Taggart were all closer makes sense. They work in the same department. They've been through something together. Like, that all works. It's the Axel Foley also coming along for the fishing trip way down in Beverly Hills or whatever. Yeah, that did feel a little bit off. But if it would just been like they weren't super close, but he found out that he got shot and came down, like, that would have been enough for me. I would have bought that. They'd met a while ago. They worked together. They become like friends, and something bad had happened. He came down to help Billy and Taggart. Like, I would have been okay with that. You didn't need to add the extra fishing trip or the extra like super close bromance to it. I did really like where they went with Billy's character. I thought that added something more to him. Like, in the first movie, he's super not shy, not cowardly necessarily, but just kind of reserved. He's very reserved. And he goes through that shootout. He has that moment. He gets to kill a couple people, and it kind of just unlocks something in him. You see it in his apartment. He's got like all the guns. He's got like the poster for Rambo 2. He's got the poster for Cobra, I believe it is. Yeah. And then he's like, he is ready to go for the rest of the movie. He's just like wide-eyed and grinning anytime anything happens. It was stupid. It was turned to 11. I thought it was amusing. I enjoyed it.
I was okay with it. That was one of those things that I was okay with them taking it to 11. I liked the trio. Their chemistry was good again. That was probably the highlight of the film for me, was the three cops working together, and I liked that they were working together from the get-go. That was good. I like that we got more Paul Reiser in this one. Mm-hmm. That was a bonus, right?
Yeah. I think he's a bigger star by this point.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I mean, by the first one for sure. Yeah.
And we got a Gilbert Godfrey appearance and a Chris Rock appearance. So I saw Gilbert Godfrey in the credits. I had no idea Chris Rock was coming. So that was this nice little surprise. And he's just all of a sudden there, just for like a super minor scene. It was like, nice.
It was like the Damon Wayans of the first one, right?
Yeah.
I think it was Chris Rock's first movie. I think pretty sure.
That would make sense. It was. I didn't realize Chris Rock's career went back that far, to be perfectly honest. But maybe I don't know how popular he was as a comedian back in '87.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not a comedian guy, but I do like comedy.
That shocks me a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not a stand-up guy, I guess specifically. I've never been a huge stand-up guy, but I do like comedy.
I love me some stand-up. I just can't remember names and stuff because I have a bad memory. So
that's fair.
Yeah, I'm a big stand-up guy, but I haven't. Anyways, that's super off track. You mentioned a second ago that this is directed by Tony Scott, fresh off of Top Gun. And that actually makes me laugh quite a bit, because as we were watching certain scenes, I was like, this feels super Top Gun-y. Like when they're at the oil rig at the very beginning, and it's just that like orange hue over everything with like the shadow people in the background, and just that like, like the soundtrack and everything, like everything about it was like, this feels really Top Gun-y. I don't know if they're purposely going for that or not. And funny how they're just like Tony Scott right after is like, okay, there we go. It worked once. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
I also thought it was funny how the very beginning it was like you see Beverly Hills and it's like dark and dingy and like clearly bad things are happening. And you go to like Detroit and it's like super lighthearted and like fun music playing. I'm like, yeah, that's what I think of when I think of Detroit in the 80s.
Yeah, they reversed from the first a little bit. Yeah,
it was nice.
Interesting.
Sorry, Brian, you were about to say something.
I was going to talk about the sound and the music of the film. It was the same song we've heard 100 times. I don't know the name of the song. Dun, 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 dun. And that was fine. I didn't feel like this one was being shoved down my throat quite so much. But the problem is that when they played other songs, oh, that's right, they didn't play other songs. There was no other good music. The first one had a couple of bangers that kind of got me pumped. And I don't even remember what scene, like they were doing some, I don't know, some sort of montage scenes or something where they're playing some other songs, and it got me pumped. I liked it. It made me feel good. This one didn't have any other kind of a soundtrack. It's just that one song that they played a bunch, it seemed like. And then they would go into like a strip club or something, and oh my God, I forgot what strip clubs in the late 80s was like, because that was a disaster.
Was it just me?
Their
Or was that
pole
one
dancers.
woman like mead mugging them the whole time? Like she just had this like
Yeah, she's
nasty, like,
just
why are you in my
angry
bar?
dancing.
And I'm just like, don't you want customers? I don't
Like,
understand. Why are you so
Yeah,
angry?
she was just like this angry Nazi stripper, just like just mean and
I'm sorry,
whipping
please, dear
things
God, do that again.
around. And I don't have a pole. I haven't installed the stripper pole in here yet, or I'd give you guys the full show.
Something
But
to look forward
there
to.
was nothing sexy about it. She was just angry dancing, and I was like, well, I mean, if you had to listen to this music all night at work, you'd probably be angry too, I guess.
I agree.
sure.
I agree. The music wasn't as good in this one. There was a couple okay songs, but nothing that like I felt the first movie had all bangers. And Axel F is the name of the theme song, which is just Axel Foley's name, obviously. And it's good, but again, we've heard it from the first one, so it's like, oh, okay, yeah, we're back here. But yeah, the rest of the music just kind of didn't quite come to the same level. Whereas I thought in the first movie, the music was like you were grooving along the whole time. You were just on the ride.
Yeah. Oh. Sorry,
Right,
I'm just like, what do you talk about? Like the acting, pretty much the same. The music, pretty much the same.
Why did the villain need to pull off these complex robberies so that he could buy and sell guns to make money? He was an oil tycoon. How do you go broke being an oil tycoon? I mean, I guess it's possible, but it just...
How do you go broke running a casino?
I mean, it just seemed weird that they had these different style robberies that were going on of various complexities. And then the final one's just an insurance fraud scheme so that they can bankroll a different... It just seemed weird to me. And I was like, man, the first one was some guy's trafficking and he got in on it. And this one was like this whole complex stage of events and stuff. And it was way unnecessary. I guess they were trying to differentiate from the first one in some way, but they didn't.
Yeah, it just seemed too much. Yeah, it just seemed too much to me as well. That being said, though, what did you guys think of Bridget Nielsen, the real bad guy of the film, right? Like, she was the threat. How did you guys think she did in this movie?
I didn't know that Axel Foley coined the phrase "that's a big bitch," but there it was.
Yeah.
Right
oh
there
my
in the film.
goodness! Throughout.
A couple of times.
But she was pretty cool. It almost felt like they were like, you know how sometimes they add something to a character to make that character stand out more, like flashy clothes or they're really tall or whatever. She was this really tall blonde woman with sharp clothing style features and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very aggressive, very in your face, very harsh. And I was like, oh, okay. So she stood out for sure. They accomplished that. But again, I was kind of disappointed because she was doing like all the heavy lifting for this so-called villain who looked like a total douche, like a whiny little douchebag who never did anything himself. She's doing all the heavy lifting. And most of the time, she's actually just holding a really big gun, looking at a stopwatch, shouting out 2 minutes left.
Yeah, and then
really did.
Shooting up the place for no reason.
Yeah, but she was scary as shit doing it. So, okay,
Yeah.
I'll give her points.
Yeah. I felt like, as far as the crime thing, she seemed to be at least interesting, whereas the rest of the crime stuff didn't.
Yeah.
She at least stood out as interesting. Like, oh, she's a threat. She obviously knows how to shoot. She doesn't give a shit about nobody.
Yep.
It was kind of cool.
It bothered me a little bit because she is like hanging off Maxwell Dent the entire time. So she's clearly like a public figure, right? And yet she's the one who's not wearing a mask going into one of these places in like the white look at me uniform in like the jewelry store at the beginning I'm thinking of.
Right.
Like she's got those sunglasses on, but that's it. Like you could get marked for that. Like, you know, like you could see her and be like, oh, I've seen her before. Whereas everybody else in that scene is like head to toe black, like face gear. Like you can't see a single feature of anyone else except for her. She's like just hanging out. It's like, that makes sense from a movie perspective. But as far as like this brilliant operation that they're going for,
especially, because they specifically say it so many times that it's the perfect crimes. And you're like, you can just pick it apart so easily. It's just so bad.
From the very opening minutes of the movie, she gets out of the car, drops something, and the valet bends down to pick it up, and she puts her gun to the back of his head and is like, don't move. And I'm like, why did you need to take a hostage right here out in the middle of the street in the open? Why not just have him hand your coin purse back, and as you walk in the door, then put the gun to his head when you're inside the building? Like, every little thing about it just seemed weird to me.
Okay, fair enough. I thought you were in a different direction with that. I was going to correct you. I believe he was an employee of the jewelry store, so she was getting him inside so that he can't call the police or something from outside the building. But you're right. No, there's other ways you could have done that as opposed to brandishing a gun in broad daylight downtown Beverly Hills.
And like you said, Dan, California. She's incredibly recognizable, and they did recognize her. He's like, guess what? I saw a tall blonde in the shooting range. You know, they noted that there was a tall blonde at the last crime scene, and it was like, yeah, why would you make it so? Yeah, this amazingly planned out heist was terribly planned out.
I did like the line of like, yeah, it's California. We got 6-foot blondes everywhere. It was
they grow on trees around here. Yeah,
yeah, it was.
But you're right. No, that whole scene, like, why is she doing the legwork at all? Like, I don't know, put a giant mask on her, like have her covered, but then she did. At one point, she wore a wig. But that was for a hit, so the cop wasn't supposed to survive it anyways. So why even bother? Like, whatever. It was weird.
It was I think a lot of this movie is they were trying to put too much stuff into it, and they were just cramming things in. Over the top gunfights, car chase scenes. I did like the cement truck scene. That was a lot of fun. It was ridiculous.
Just crushing all the cop cars in Beverly Hills. Yeah, super funny.
That cement truck's not gonna get up to top speed at all,
ever.
And they can never seem to catch it. You know? But it was fun.
The other cop pulls up with his car, and then they both drive both cars to the Playboy Mansion. I'm like, why don't you just get into the giant truck and get everybody in the little car and you can keep up? But whatever.
Where did Taggart get the unblemished cop car when he pulled up behind him? Where'd that come from?
I assume he had to go back to the station and get his car.
Yeah.
I don't know. Where did you get the cement truck? He's like, go find wheels. And it did. And I'm like, how? How did you find wheels that quickly?
They actually had foreshadowing in I was watching it with my mother, and they ran by a cement truck that was kind of in the middle of nowhere, and you see it in the scene. And my mom goes, seems kind of weird, that cement truck just there. And I was like, Mom, I bet that's foreshadowing. And sure enough, Billy runs back and gets that cement truck. And that's what it was. And that's fine. I like a little foreshadowing rather than just completely pull it out of thin air.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that. So that is
out of thin air. I mean,
well, that's fair. You're allowed to foreshadow out of thin air as long as you don't just pull out of thin air. I think that makes it better, at least a little bit. Oh man!
And then Hugh Hefner cameo. That was fun.
Sure.
Much love, buddy. We miss you.
Do we?
Some more than others, apparently.
Hey, I was raised on it. The
Playboy Bunny scene was fine. Like they took you to a lot of different places in this movie, where it's the gun scene or the gun shop or whatever, or the Playboy Mansion. Like you do go to a lot of fun places in this one. The gun. Now, Brian, you're the American here. I know you're not rich, but like, do gun clubs look anything at all like that? Because in Canada, the only one I've been to was literally a forest, and you just kind of like went out there and started shooting. I'm like,
hell no.
I don't know. Like, do they have these laser guided anythings in these rich posh places?
No, gun clubs aren't like that. They're not going to use blanks with laser sights at gun clubs, anyways. That was just gimmicky stuff to make it look all fancy and high tech. Yeah. They don't have champagne glasses and viewing rooms and stuff like that. You're in a dark cement hall, the same as when they're training cops. It's the same thing everywhere because people just want to pull the trigger and hit something, So that was just for show. As soon as they pulled up to the Beverly Hills Gun Club and I saw that huge, just big sign written out and everything, I was like, this is going to be a totally fake gun club. This isn't going to be real.
Yeah, it was bougie. Definitely some bouge there. Yeah. So apparently this movie was originally, the producers wanted to make Beverly Hills Cop into a TV series. And Eddie Murphy was like, I ain't going back to TV. And so instead it was adapted into the second movie and then probably the third movie after that.
How do they adapt this into the second movie? This was the first movie, again, with more stuff.
Well, I think that's the idea, though, right?
Like to it.
In the 80s, sitcom television is just going to be episodic, the same thing happening in a different way kind of thing, right? So I'm sure it's just like, okay, well, how is he going to come back to Beverly Hills? Oh, the guy gets shot. Okay, what crime is he going to solve? and then maybe they had like the framework for that for a television show, and then they just beefed it up to make it a film in one go, right? But,
add some explosions, call it a day.
Exactly.
But did you guys have fun watching this film?
I legitimately did. I don't love it. It's not what I'm necessarily going to go back to over and over again. But yeah, I had a good time watching this one.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's light enough. It's fun enough. You know, you can turn your brain off, and you probably should, because a lot of the criminal organization doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Nor does, getting past those sneaky foremen. You know, those guys. They'll call in.
Anybody.
They'll call in. They will. Don't.
Yeah, the alarm system was more challenging than those guys. It was there was some fun stuff in the film, but a lot of the time I was just like, man, this is a lot like the first one. Just they crammed more into it and just replayed the same story again.
100%. One thing I did like that I noticed, tell me if you guys noticed this, is Axel throughout the movie kind of comes across money. He gets money for the vitamins. He gets money from what's his name, the
$200 donation he ends up getting
from
away.
Sidney Bernstein, and $50 from the armored car. But he also gives all that money away throughout the movie as well. He doesn't keep any of this money, which is I thought was kind of an interesting character thing. And I like that part because it wasn't like so in your face and so like, look at this, what we're doing now, over and over again. It was just like subtly put in there, and I thought that was a cool thing for an Axel Foley character to do. He's like, I'm not in this for the money. I'm just here to solve this
I like
case,
that as well.
He ends up no further ahead than when he started.
Especially at the beginning when he's already gotten $3,000 of flash money and a $64,000 Lambo.
On his undercover case.
He's picking up the tab on. But yeah, he'll give the tips back.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I thought that was just like the most interesting thing to me. I was like, oh, that's fun. He's just like passing
here's $20. Go back and get you some new vitamins. I did like how he turned it all around and gave it back because he wasn't there for the money and everything. Mm-hmm. And they had a running clock that lengthened and shortened as it went when he was going to get caught. And he had what's his face, his buddy back in Detroit cover for him and take a phone call real quick, Paul Reisner. And that was fun. It was a fun little bit. And so I like that. But you always had this, I've got 3 days, maybe 2 days, and then 4 days. And he keeps like finding ways to stay and go a little bit longer. And I kind of like the time clock pressure that this movie put on you, because you were constant, like you knew it was going to happen soon because it was never more than a couple of days. So I always felt like the next thing's coming fast. And it did. The movie moved right along from scene to scene to scene. There was no real slow parts.
Yeah, I'd agree. It has a good pace to it.
Mm-hmm. Again, I think that's the beauty of the 80s is they're just to the point, get that action moving. I think we could use a little bit more of that nowadays.
Yeah.
Speaking of getting the action moving, do we want to move on to scoring this, or do you guys have?
I got nothing else.
I'm good with scoring it.
I told all my little bits. I told all my little bits. I'm ready to move it.
Nice. Before I get started, Dan, what was because I haven't even done my point system on this one really in depth. I was just going to kind of wing it. What was the point score I gave for Beverly Hills Cop 1?
You both gave 80 to the first one.
Solid,
and 70.
Solid 80s.
I gave 70 the first one. You both gave 80. Actually, that's a good point, though. Give me 1 second before we move on.
And for those of you watching in the video, you may notice there's some funny flashing things going on behind me. It's because I'm live streaming this as well. And you can catch us, either Dan or myself, live streaming the recording of R Rating on Thursday nights at 8 Central, 9 Central, something like that.
8 Central, 9 Eastern.
8 Central, 9 Eastern. Okay, there we go.
Time.
And and you can come join us in chat. We read everything that comes along here, though we don't include too much of that in the video. We do try to get through these pretty fast, but we love having you guys come in and comment so that we can try and keep a straight face at the wisecracks you guys put in chat.
Absolutely.
We do tend to read them, even if we don't read them out loud, so everyone can see.
Absolutely. And you can see all the behind the scenes tomfoolery that goes on here, where we mostly just make fun of Dan.
Yeah.
All
right. If you like what we do and you want to support us, head on over to Patreon. There's a link down below. Huge shout out to our executive producers, Real Bubba Hotep, Dino, and Elder JM 990. Thank you guys so much. You're helping keeping the show on the road. All right. Will, Brian, do you want to start us off?
Yeah, so I think this. I've been saying it the whole time. Yeah, that's what happens when you do things live.
Amazing.
How about you give us your review with a beautiful hat on, please?
All right, so we're recording this live, and things happen live, so that's why I'm wearing the hat. So this movie, for me, I've been saying it the whole time, it feels exactly like the same movie. They just added stuff into it to make it more, and I think they may have put a little too much or just done a kind of a shoddy job stuffing things in. I thought the special effects were not as good. The sound effects were kind of terrible compared to the original, and of course, the music was non-existent aside from the same theme song that we've heard over and over. So for me, the original one coming down from an 80 of a really good kind of buddy cop trio movie that I really enjoyed, this one comes way down for me to a 64. I just felt like a lot of the stuff that I really enjoyed, I had either already seen or I was seeing it done poorly, and I didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy the sequences where the three cops are working together and cracking wise. That was the most entertaining parts for me. But as far as the stuff that was added in, like the extravagant heist scenes, the car chase scenes, and the explosions and gunfights, I thought most of those were pulled off really poorly and didn't add anything to this film for me. It took away from it.
All right. Very nice.
I brought that down to 64, right?
Yeah, that's what I wrote.
Okay, good. This is why I write things down. I literally can't remember what I just said.
I know that feeling. All right. For me, this one is a little bit funnier, kept a bit better pace than the first one did. I did like certain aspects of it. Some of the story was convoluted unnecessarily, a little bit overly complicated. Some of the things didn't quite make sense. So it did lower it a little bit for me. But honestly, the enjoyment of this one was almost the same, if not a little bit higher than the first one. Technical aspects were all basically the exact same. Sound was all basically the exact same. So this one, first one was a 70. This one came down to a 68. Not much of a drop off, but yeah, you can tell there's just a little bit less of originality there, and that does kind of take a little bit out of it for me.
Bum, 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 bum. What to say that hasn't been said already? Yeah, I'm just going to recap. Even though Eddie Murphy's first writing credit, I found this movie was a little less funny than the first, maybe because the first one did it first. And so, always the first time seeing something, it's a little more exciting than seeing it again and again and again, which I felt they forced into this one again and again and again. The action was a step up. I think that was mainly due to Tony Scott. He's had some pretty good hits along the way. But overall, the story was more complex for no reason. The biggest thing going for this movie was like the buddy cop feel, which was fun, but maybe just not enough to hold up to the original. Overall, this one's a 70 out of 100 for me, dropping at 10 marks from the first one.
All right. That is going to take a hit on the franchise overall.
Sure will.
Yeah. Give me a minute while I do some math behind the scenes.
Yeah, I really didn't enjoy this one near as much as the first. This one just it just failed. It just failed for me in all the ways that I wanted it to succeed. They tried to do like they stick to the same recipe but add more seasoning, right? And for whatever reason, I like my original recipe chicken. And this just wasn't it.
It kind of just falls into all the pitfalls of a bad sequel, right? Like all the reasons not to make a sequel, this is why they made it, just for the money kind of thing. They didn't really advance the characters all that much, except for maybe Billy the most, because he's going unhinged.
Well,
with his
we got to hear about Taggart's wife. That was some funny bits too, the little ex-wife jokes. Yeah,
but that's the problem though. It was more a joke than like character building, I felt, Yeah, because there was no real nothing really happened. They just got back together at the end anyway. It was meaningless
because he had cable.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, overall, it was like it added nothing really to me. But yeah, I don't know. It's a fun, mindless popcorn action movie, I guess. Just not as fun as the first.
I don't know. I think the first movie definitely gets props for being original. It does it first, not only in this franchise, but just as a buddy cop movie. It's pretty early on in the scene, so that's good. I just didn't. Maybe it's because I watched this with my brother, and so it's always more fun to watch something like this where you're laughing with somebody. Maybe that's why it was a bit more enjoyable for me. But this one just, I don't know. It worked about as well.
Right.
Overall, right. Like I didn't love the first one as much as you guys did, and I don't love this one, but like it's fine. It's fine. I won't be sad if I have to watch this again at some point down the road, but I'm also not putting it on a Friday night just because.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's fair. So, yeah, it's just like a whatever movie. That's fine.
This sequel is to its original the way that Die Hard 2 is to its original for me. It's like they take the same kind of thing, they make it way more extravagant than it needs to be, try and up the volume on everything and fail miserably because they're not building characters, they're not building the world, they're not storytelling, they have nothing new or interesting to really say. They're just out to do the same movie again and entertain the same people and make hopefully a little bit more money.
Yeah.
That's not a bad analogy at all, actually.
That's like the franchise analogy.
Yeah. You know, you get lucky once in a while. You come back with a third or fourth or 17th film, and they really add life to the franchise with something new and exciting and interesting. This wasn't it. This is what we've seen time and time again. Let's make a sequel so we can make some money.
Yeah.
And they didn't do a terrible job. It wasn't terrible. No. There's no heart and soul in this. It's just a repeat.
I'm not sure there was a ton of heart and soul in the first one, but I might be alone on that one.
I think that the first one just had its own characteristics because it was new. It was kind of the first of its kind, or of the first of its kind, I would say, at least with the Buddy Cop franchise. I mean, when you think of Buddy Cop films, Beverly Hills Cop 1 is one of the films that might pop into your mind as starting that kind of genre off. This one just continues in its ilk.
Yeah.
Die Hard 2 is a cinematic gem. When's the last time you've seen that, Real Bubba Hotep?
Well, there's been a couple people in chat that say they prefer Beverly Hills Cop 2 to the original, which I can understand if you're more into action, more over the top. That's like Jurassic Park 2, right? Like it's more of everything.
Yeah.
So if that's what you're in for, that's totally fine. And I've seen multiple people say that they enjoyed the second one more, but I think as like to critique the actual film, script, acting, you know, all these beats, breaking it down, I just feel like the first one was a more composed movie overall.
Oh, 100%. I feel that way too, anyway.
Okay. So with that, where is it?
You tell me.
That looks awful. That looks mildly better. I'll take mildly better. All right, so with that, we have a four-way tie between Alien, Predator, Beverly Hills Cop, and 28 Years Later, or the 28 Later trilogy at 72 points. Now, Predator, we've got two more movies to do in the Beverly Hills Cop franchise. 28 Years Later has another movie coming out in about 6 months, and Predator has another movie coming out in about 3 months. So all of these could change quite a bit, hopefully, in the next little bit. But for right here, right now, this is tying itself up with some pretty lofty competition. Do you think it earns its spot there? Or do you think it's going to fall pretty drastically over the next two and land somewhere far below that?
I feel this is typical franchisery. Starts pretty good, but it's going to be on that slow decline down and probably land in the Evil Dead realm, maybe Gremlins territory.
Okay.
I'm okay with it being here for now, but I don't think that these two movies are going to carry this franchise. I have a feeling it's going to continue to go down.
Yeah.
Even if number 3 and 4 are as good as number 2, it's still going to bring it down, right? You know, it's still going to be bringing down that average. So, yeah. I think we're going to see it down there with Jurassic Park, maybe even below Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park or Jurassic World?
Not Jurassic World. I think we'll outperform Gremlins. I don't know if we're gonna beat Evil Dead.
Okay, we'll see.
None of us have seen Axel F. Is that correct?
I haven't seen anything out from here, 3 or F.
Okay.
Oh, I've seen 3 a couple of
Okay.
times.
From my understanding, 3 is going to be a brutal watch. I haven't heard anything really about F either way. I just know people were excited for it when it was coming out, but I'm not sure how that one's going to land. So hopefully that one can kind of recover a little bit. Probably not back to the glory of the first one, but at least, up a little bit from 3. Fingers crossed, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the Jurassic World 3 nostalgia callback is going to be Axel F, right? That's kind of what they're going to play into. Whereas 3 kind of tanked, I think, the franchise, and that's why there was only 3 for 20 years.
Yeah, that's fair.
We will see. We'll break it down either way.
Gonna close this out, Dan?
Yep. Usually I have to wait for you guys to there's always more going on. And I have to be like, okay, that was a good enough point. I'll break there. And this time we're just like, and we're done. So it's just dead quiet. Just moving on. Can we move on now, please? All right. That was our rating of Beverly Hills Cop 2. But what's your rating? Let us know down in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you have to say. We record this live over at twitch.tv/The Monguli Show on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. So you can head over there and hit the follow button. Or if you made it this far in the video and you enjoyed it, hit the like button and hit subscribe so that I see you in the next one. Close it off. All right.
We've definitely had to sit through worse. That's for sure. I mean, I had a good time watching the film. It was good.
It wasn't boring. It wasn't
boring.
Horrible. It was definitely watchable. We definitely endured worse.
Like I've said this so many times, but it was like the definition of that, good movies are easy to talk about, bad movies are easy to talk about. This is right in the middle where it's like, it's fine.
Yeah, it's just fine. This is fine. Maybe we'll be a little bit more excited about 3 and we can really just razz it. I'm hoping 3 is shit and 4 is amazing. That's what I want. I want just a wild flare at the end.
Yeah.
I take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be way more fun. So, what are we doing after Beverly Hills Cop? Have we gotten that far yet?
I don't know that we discussed Happy Gilmore. We discussed Naked Gun. But no, we don't have anything concrete. That'll be 2 weeks from now, sort of early August. I don't know of any movies coming out in the near future that we're super excited for.
Yeah, but I'm also gone for the next 2 recordings. So.
Oh, that's right. Is that so? That's this week coming up, and the one after that.
Correct. Yeah, I leave Monday. So
I think we'll just not do our rating for those weeks, but maybe Brian and I can still get together and talk about something.
Yeah.
Do you want to do just like a single movie review? Just talk about.
I wouldn't mind doing a single movie review that's just a standalone, not our rating kind of thing, and just go. I wouldn't mind going and seeing a movie in theaters or seeing something new that's just came to streaming or something and talk about something fresh. That'd be kind of cool. Either that or there's 2 weeks. We could pick a movie that you haven't seen that I have and a movie that I haven't seen that you have and make each other watch those movies. Do one week, one the other week. Something like that.
Break them down, talk about them. That's fun too.
We could also let the audience decide what movie we're going to talk about.
As long as it's not Bridget's choice.
I've
seen the Barbie movie 3 times. Okay,
Yeah,
it's not a bad movie. I just don't want to watch it anymore.
We can have a serious conversation about the Barbie movie. I just don't know that we are the right 2 people to do it.
No, Hotep, I'm not watching Human Centipede. There's some things you can't unsee, and that's not something I'm going to let be lodged in my brain.
I would agree with that. Dan hasn't seen anything. You're not. I want to say you're wrong, but you're just not.
Didn't you want to do Austin Powers? There's so many franchises on the list, Windstorm. No doubt. No doubt. I think it sounds funny to you two talk about feminism. I mean, I think guys can talk about feminism. That's fine, but
see, here's the thing:
oh god, here we go.
As men, we're not allowed to talk about feminism, but that's bullshit. We just have a perspective that's outside of a first-person perspective on feminism, but we still have a perspective, and I think we still have the right to be heard about it. Just like when white people talk about black people, or I don't know, deaf people talk about blind people, whatever. Just because you aren't in that circle doesn't mean you don't have a perspective or a voice or deserve to be heard on that. But do I want to talk about feminism? Fuck no. I hate talking about feminism.
Well, you can talk about the toxic masculinity instead.
I can talk about toxic masculinity. That's true.
Here's my biggest, what I found the most odd about the Barbie movie, that it was more about Ken than Barbie. That's what I found
Yep.
weird. But maybe I saw it that way because I'm a guy and I'm watching from the male perspective. But to me, it felt like it was way more about Ken and his story than Barbie and her story. I don't know.
It almost felt like they kind of missed the point on that. Like they were trying to make a feminist point, and they ended up kind of doing the opposite almost. I don't know. I guess maybe that's why I liked it, because they had an interesting take on the male perspective from the whole thing. But
That's the way patriarchy works, Will. Yeah. Yeah. Old Guard 1, not 2. I've seen Old Guard 1 and not 2.
Same. I saw the first one. I was like, it's okay. There's a sequel. I'm like, oh, all right.
Yeah. The first one was okay. I'll allow that.
I remember thinking it was okay. I couldn't tell you a thing about it other than I'm pretty sure it's a group of immortals.
Yeah, that died.
Something like that. I really don't know. I really don't remember more about it than that.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
hey, what's The Home? It's a horror thriller. And
I know nothing about it.
I don't know anything about it. It's a brand new movie that just came out.
Would you be willing to watch Fantastic Four and talk about that next Thursday?
God, I don't want to go see a superhero movie. I would.
Totally fair. No, that's fine. I don't want to force you for something that's not our rating.
About it, I'm just not interested in. Ever since Marvel Strike Force, it's really taken me out of the whole thing. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at I forgot I'm streaming my stream too, and I'm sitting here blocking you guys. I'd go see Fantastic Four and review it. I would. But if we weren't reviewing it, I'm not sure if I'd even watch it on stream when it comes out. Like when it's streaming. I just
fair enough.
Not interested in superhero movies anymore.
What about
the changes? I used to really enjoy them.
What about something like F1? Like, is there a movie in theaters you would be interested in?
I'm curious to see F1. I've heard a lot of hype about it, and I want to know if that's any good. I was just looking to see what was in theaters right now, so I could go see something interesting.
I have no idea what the Emily Whitehead movie is, Bridget.
On Apple TV. I've been watching tons of stuff on Apple TV. What I really want to watch, what I'm looking forward to seeing, and it's not a movie, is Alien Earth. I'm just dying to see if it's trash or if they make something out of it.
Yeah, somebody reached out to me in DMs like, can you please do a trailer review for this? And I was like, I haven't seen the trailers for that one. So yeah, sure. He says it on Disney Plus, but I have to go look it up.
For the trailer review for what?
Alien Earth.
Oh yeah, it's on.
He said do a trailer review for it.
Yeah, they've got a new extended trailer out that actually shows some scenes, and it's, I don't know, like I mean, you know, I'm gung ho for the franchise, so I definitely want to. I'm gonna watch the whole series. I'm sure, just because it's Alien. But I just hope that I'm not hating myself while I do it. That I'm not watching it as punishment to myself. You know.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I want it to be good. Not the trailer. I just saw an imagery of it. The logo, where it's like the face hugger wrapped around the earth. And I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like that. My next movie's Tron. I'm curious about that one. I don't remember the 80s one, and I didn't love the 2000s one, but the imagery looks cool. I just don't know what the story is.
How we can watch so many movies without falling asleep. I can't fall asleep watching TV. I can't do it. If the TV's on, if my phone's on, if it's a video game or a movie or TV, I cannot fall asleep to it. My problem is just finding enough time to watch it. I was going to watch Sinners, Hotep. I was this close to watching it. And then, I don't know, my kids interrupted me or something. I ended up having family time instead. Damn families. Trying to watch a halfway decent streaming film and have to go spend time with the family.
I am curious to watch Sinners. I've heard good things, but other than from Hotep.
I've heard good things as well.
You want to see Tron until you saw Jared Leto?
Hughes, I'll agree with you on that one. I'm not a huge Jared Leto fan.
Yeah, same.
I laughed out loud when he appeared as Joker. I was like, well, that's the end of that one.
Well, and it was a very interesting take on Joker. Not interesting, totally. Sorry, that's the wrong word. It was a very weird take on Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you tried Lord of the Rings? Puts me to sleep every time. Some people love those movies.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what it is. I could be watching infomercials late night. I'll just stay awake. I don't know.
I usually can't fall asleep like if it's a first time viewing, but I can definitely fall asleep any other time.
It depends for me. I don't like falling asleep through movies. I like to finish them, and I rarely turn them off even. But there are some times where I'm just like, I can only fight this so hard. Sometimes I'm just like, I'm conking out. I'm out. Sorry.
Yeah, Elder, I like Firefly as well. I thought that was great. That's one of those I should probably go back and rewatch. But I'm having just gotten a brand new Apple TV account. There's just a dozen really good backlog shows with 2 or 3 seasons that I'm going through trying to get caught up, and they're really amazing programming there. So,
have you watched Shrinking yet?
Not yet. I'm trying to burn through some stuff. I've got Invasion. I'm finishing up. I'm all caught up on Foundation. I finished off Silo and Severance, and there's Ted Lasso. There's just tons. There's tons of stuff out there. And then my dad's like, "Hey, there's some new stuff on Netflix too." I'm like, "Fuck! Oh, I thought I was done with Netflix."
That's the problem. Is there's so much content these days. Like I remember growing up, there was just like the one variety store. Again, small town. I get it. There was just the one variety store, and like I saw everything in that variety store. You know what I mean? Like, or at least I was aware of it. I'd seen the front poster. I was aware of the people in it. Like my knowledge from that range is huge. But like nowadays, like there's not even very many water cooler movies or TV shows. Like, if it's not a big blockbuster Marvel or something like that, nobody even talks about it after like the first day.
Right. Yeah, you're just overloaded with stuff. I would rather have too much good stuff to watch than too little. I hate when I can't find anything to watch. Now I can't find the time to watch anything, and I prefer it that way. But I like when we have those just record-breaking standout shows or movies that pop out that's all new and fresh and interesting from a new director with new actors, and it's different and it's unique and it's exciting. And that happens so rarely in these days. So I'm willing to sift through garbage in hopes that something good, comes my way. But we haven't had any super duper standout new stuff. Everything's kind of just a spin-off of something else,
Yeah.
Algorithm.
That's the cycle of storytelling, right? Somebody has to come up with something more innovating and a different way to spin it. Otherwise, people just kind of regurgitate what's working and making money.
Well, I mean, and there's a slow evolution to the content that we consume too. We were saying in the 80s, every episode was episodic. You had a set piece start, beginning, and it ended, and then the next episode was a different thing. Nowadays, you have a narrative that's driven through the entire season, and sometimes narratives that are driven through multiple seasons. Mm-hmm. I like that. I think that drives a deeper connection to the show. May not have been possible back in the 80s when you had to watch your episode on Thursdays at 6 p.m. or you missed it. Nowadays, you can binge or whatever you want to do, and so having a narrative that goes through the entire season is just real common.
100%. And I think also that's kind of why TV is making better products now than movies, because movies can't do that in the same way. So movies are kind of relying on like the popcorn, whatever big screen appeal. And then TV can still focus on like telling intriguing, interesting stories.
Got to have a name and an explosion and a shocking scene. Something like that to draw the people in, whereas television can tell a story. And even better nowadays, this is prominent with Stranger Things. The episode doesn't have to be a 45-minute episode without commercials. It can be any length it needs to be to tell a story.
Yeah.
And what's even cooler is when you get into shows like I like anthologies or not anthologies. I like several short stories that range from 5 to 45 minutes an episode, like Love, Death, and Robots. And one year they did Love, Death, and Robots where when you viewed it, it would randomly give you an episode. So when you would start the new season of Love, Death, and Robots, you wouldn't necessarily be watching the same episode your friend would be watching when you went and hit play. And it was really cool because you saw them out of sequence. And then everybody's like, oh, I didn't see that one yet. Oh, I'm not there yet. So I thought that was kind of cool to watch things out of play. And I think there was another TV show that had Gus from Breaking Bad, and it was a robbery show. I think it was called like a Kaleidoscope or something.
Yeah.
And you could watch any episode. And when you watch the episode, it changed the whole fucking story. Yeah. Because you'd see it from somebody's perspective and you wouldn't realize that something else was going on. And you could watch any of them in any way. And it changed the story each time you watched it. It was cool.
but it always made sense. It was always I've never seen it, but that was my understanding. Is like the story made sense no matter which order you watch the episodes in, but it changes the story depending on how you watch the episodes. Like that's really cool. I was super curious to that one. I just never got around to seeing it.
I watched half of it and then I got distracted somehow, but it was good. I really liked it. I hope they do more stuff like that because you'd be like into the first episode and you're like, well, I know who this person is and that's the villain, obviously. And then you watch the next episode and you're like, that's not the villain. It's they've got it wrong and I know what they don't know. And it was cool.
Netflix is doing some really interesting things. Like they're really starting to push some boundaries a little bit, which I really appreciate. Not only with the Kaleidoscope show, although that's a huge one, but there's also is it called Bandersnatch? The Black Season like
Choose Your Own Adventure.
Yeah, like Choose Your Own Adventure movie. I watched it once, maybe like 1.5 times. My buddy watched it like 14 times.
Right?
Yeah.
You plowed through the whole thing as fast as you could?
Pretty much. My buddy went through it though, and he went through like so many times.
Ending I could. I went and found the Easter eggs. There's like a video game. If you go through them in the right order, there's a video game you can play. I did all of that. I love that thing. There must have been like 12 hours of stuff I watched.
And then with the newest season of Black Mirror, there's one episode where it deals with the Mandela effect and how like some people's perspective change and like you're sure things are supposed to be the way or they're gaslighting the person or whatever. And Netflix actually released 2 different versions of that episode with subtle changes back and forth. So like I could go to run and be like, oh my God, that was so cool the way they did this. And you'd be like, they didn't do that. They did this. And both of us would be correct. And I was like, that's fucking dirty, Netflix. But I love it.
Yep.
Didn't Netflix pull all those Choose Your Own Adventure shows though?
I don't know. I don't know if Bandersnatch is still on there or not.
I think you can still watch Bandersnatch.
I thought I heard somewhere that they were pulling all that stuff.
They might not be making any more. Like maybe it didn't do as well as they were hoping to for the amount of effort that went into it. But I believe Bandersnatch is still on there. It's a good enough experiment that even if it didn't work out perfectly, it's still worth a try.
Checking out, yeah.
Every time I see an advertisement for the Sandman, I'm just so disinterested in it.
I liked the first season well enough. I don't know if is the second season out already or
I don't know. Oh, Bandersnatch is no longer on Netflix.
Weird.
That's crappy for whoever has not seen Bandersnatch. That was such a good movie. Oh, here's another one I watched recently that was really good. It's What's Inside is called the movie. It's about this guy creates a box that allows you to be inside the body of somebody else and they're inside your body. So you swap, right? You Freaky Friday. And
another franchise we could do.
They start playing this game where everybody in the room randomly swaps with somebody else. Only one person knows the truth. And then everybody has to figure out who's in whose body. Things go awry. People are murdered. Blame is cast upon others and the game is afoot. I thought it was a really good movie. I liked it. It's a real good whodunit. Foss likes the Sandman?
Netflix removed Bandersnatch, the interactive Black Mirror episode, as part of a broader strategy to shift away from interactive content and focus on other areas like mobile gaming. But it's already existed.
Mobile gaming too. Yeah,
like it already existed. Why? Like how much more? Like yeah, it's so weird.
Maybe there's like additional infrastructure of some kind to keep that on there so that you can click around and do things. I don't know.
They needed the server space for
maybe it's a server
for tower defense or something.
Sorry, Demillion. Exactly. I was Googling it while you were typing, apparently.
That's my guess. That's my guess.
I just had a thought and it left my brain. Oh well.
Maybe it went into somebody else's. Let me think.
They made a in the latest Black Mirror, didn't they have an episode that was like related to Bandersnatch? It used the same video game maker who was in the Bandersnatch movie. He was a character.
That sounds right. There was something very similar or something very reminiscent of it.
Yeah, they related it to one of the characters. And that's kind of weird that you can't go back and watch the material it's related to.
Yeah, even if they'd removed the interactive feature and just made it an episode, maybe that would have made it boring at that point because the fun is the interactiveness. Yeah. But at least you get the story.
Yeah,
I feel like it was decent.
The story was decent, but for me, it was the interacting. When the character in the TV show starts realizing that you, the viewer, are controlling his life and he can't do a damn thing about it, and you get to play God, that was like the moment I was like, it was like goosebumps watching that. I just loved it. Again, something completely new and different in cinema that we hadn't seen before. And I love that stuff.
Yeah, I think when Netflix kind of had the jump on everybody as far as streaming service went, they could do a lot of that experimenting stuff and have fun with it. Now, not so much because there is so much competition in that.
They're in the race
realm.
now.
Exactly. And now streaming is just pretty much cable TV all over again. So it's just all kind of bullshit.
Yeah, for sure. Brian, you know what? Next week is my late week where I'm going to be working till 8 o'clock anyways. Do you want to just not do an episode next week?
Just hard
pass? Will's not going to be around and I'm going to be late showing up.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll take.
I mean, if you want to stream, I'll come and say hi to you during your stream during this time.
I'll probably take the opportunity to stream or just spend some time with family or something. It'd be nice to take a week off. Actually, it wouldn't, because I'm like you. I've been slammed the last couple of days, and
all right, and then we'll come back the week after that with something, just the two of us, and
something we could just, even if we just get together and talk about movies like we've been doing right now, we'll just have some good stuff that we have actually been watching.
Historically, we have not had a hard time bullshitting for an hour, the two of us, so I'm sure it'll be fine.
You're on your own.
It's like, hey, could you hang out for 5 minutes after the stream, and then 11:30 rolls around? Yeah. Okay, I gotta go.
I have one quick question for you. 2 hours later, Bridget, I probably will stream when I get home. Just that way, I'm not under a time crunch of like, oh, I need to make it back at this time. I need to get set up right away. Like, I have time to come home peacefully, say hi to my wife, and then kind of make it down to the computer when I can, as opposed to just like beelining it there so I'm not late for people. But anyways, I'm kind of fucking exhausted. I was debating streaming more Godforge after this because I've got an interview tomorrow. Not an interview. I've got a podcast on the Fateless web server, like their actual YouTube channel, which has like 90,000 subscribers. So it's going to be a pretty big opportunity for me, potentially. And I don't feel like I've played this game very much, so I need to get more reps in with it.
You should definitely play that game because we're rating you right now.
Well,
is it good? Can you tell me? Tell me, Dan. How's the game?
Okay. It's, if you like that style of game, the Marvel Strike Force / Raid Shadow Legends, it looks pretty fun. I do enjoy it. That being said, I'm talking to two people who are burnt out on Marvel Strike Force and never played Raid Shadow Legends. So it's a hard sell for the crowd that I'm currently talking to. Does that mean it's bad? Not at all. It's also the alpha. It's been out literally for less than 48 hours. So there's not much to it, but I knew there wasn't gonna be much to it. So like, it's easy to look at and be like, oh, this is kind of boring. Of course it is. It's one game mode with a limited amount of characters, but it is a way of testing the game and seeing how it goes. Yeah. So I'm going to be on I'm going to be on their podcast tomorrow at noon. I don't know if they're live streaming it or if it'll just come out on YouTube after that. I honestly don't know. But I'm going to be on their show, and I think I'm being there more as a outsider perspective, somebody who's like semi well spoken, is interested in the game, but isn't somebody who played Raid Shadow Legends, because that's where most of the people playing this game and even the developers of this game came from. So it's just a nice way of being like, oh, hey, look, here's a guy who played something else. What's your take on this? I'm terrified because I don't feel like I've got nearly enough rep into the game or anything to say anything terribly intelligent yet. And this week has filled up very, 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 very quickly. But that being said, I got in at like 3:30 in the morning last night. So I'm kind of bagged. So I think I'm going to call it a night and maybe wake up early tomorrow and get started then doing some stuff. But that's me. I think I'm out for the night. I know you just rated me, but we're just going to take this group of fine individuals and pass them off to somebody else.
Suck it, Raiders. You're
pass them on down the line. Gosh. All right. Well, I'm going to go get some rest, and hopefully I will be less itchy tomorrow. Thank you, gentlemen, for another wonderful time. May have been a meh kind of franchise day, but it was a fucking amazing time hanging out with you guys, talking about it. So I will see you guys next time.
Appreciate you. Have a good night.
Cheers. See you, buddy. Can we torture cleaning agent in some games? What were the numbers? What were the numbers?
Oh, you didn't. Yeah. I didn't know. Yeah.
No, we did it. We did it on screen.
We did the poster. Yeah.
You just got here late. Give me a second. I'll find it.
The overall was, I think we're at 72.
Yeah, it's tied at 72 with
Run
Brian
was
gave this a 64.
60.
Will gave it a
Yeah.
70. I gave it a 68, which means for the franchise, I have a 69. Brian has a 72, and Will has a 75. So the average is 72. Those are all of the numbers that I can give you at this moment. I am fading very quickly. I love you guys, but I'm raiding out and heading to bed as quickly as I possibly can. I will be back live tomorrow at some point, I'm sure, and definitely on Saturday. And Will, what do you? Look at you triple threat. What are you doing tomorrow night for your stream?
I don't know yet. I'm going to start late because I do have family in town, so I will be starting a little later, so that might affect what I'm playing. I'm not sure. Come show up. We'll figure something out together.
Nice. And Saturday, I'll be playing, I don't know what, something for the first little bit, and then my brother's going to join me for a Quentin Tarantino top 5. We've done a couple of these before. Audience tends to enjoy them. He's a funny guy. We have good chemistry together. So come check that out probably around 11, but I'll be on earlier than that, just hanging out and bullshitting for like my normal Saturday morning. All right, I'm going to send you over to Dadpool's friend, Just Pinsy. Go give him some love. You guys have a wonderful night. We'll catch you next time for our rating. Bye, everybody. That's the start of the raid. Damn it, I thought that was the actual send them. Oh, no, I got 10 more seconds. Juggle. Keep it going. Okay, bye.
Look how fast I can drink.